Okay, so I'm back with Lilith in the seventh house. And thank you for having patience with me, by the way, because it seems like I'm skipping around, but I'm gonna come back to it all. Don't worry. Finish up everything. But Lilith in the seventh house. Um, yeah. This placement, all right, puts you under the control of other people. Lilith in the seventh house individuals can be easily influenced. Lilith in the seventh house individuals can get mixed up in the wrong crowd. We can see this in the 11th house as well. But seventh house, we're dealing with other people as well. Lilith in the seventh house can get into relationships that are very controlling. And abuse can take place. Abuse can take place. Or Lilith can definitely get taken advantage of being dealing with other people. Or Lilith can be violent here. Okay. So Lilith can be the abuser or the abused. Now I see this more often than not, Lilith being the person that's being the abused. Only because, and you guys, like, if you don't know me, you might not understand that I look at abuse as emotional, psychological, mental, spiritual, physical, so many different things. Okay. When someone is getting taken advantage of, I'm like, okay, you're being abused. Things that I don't allow myself to do. Things that I don't allow myself to partake in because I understand the effects that they have on us. So the biggest theme for Lilith is other people. The Lilith in the seventh house individuals can face abuse at a young age and throughout life by other people. And they could be easily influenced by a lover, a partner, or someone else, a friend. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now, I feel like Lilith in the seventh house individuals or that has this placement can also lash out on other people too. Like if they get to a point and they feel like somebody has them backed up into a corner, okay, they don't really know how to express themselves, they face some sort of trauma, earlier on, they will act out, they will lash out emotionally, hysterically, whatever. It's very hard for them to find some common mediumship within relationships with other people through communication. And I say that with room, okay, of understanding. It just depends on what sign Lilith may be in. You got, Lilith in certain signs, you may find that they're able to communicate better or easier, but at the same time, it's still to a lesser degree than somebody that doesn't have Lilith in their seventh house. Okay. Now, it could be for whatever reason. I always say this when I'm talking about certain placements, and Lilith is one. Because, when they were younger, it could have been instances to where whoever was in charge was like, well, I'm in charge. It doesn't matter what you say. What I say goes. Okay. They could have found themselves in situations earlier on to where they had to make decisions that they were not qualified to make too, depending. Hey, let's say that they had parents that worked all the time, or they had parents that could not take care of them. Like, people really take this for granted. And this is the same thing that I try to tell my daughter. I'd be like, you have to be very, very thankful that you have people in your life that's willing to stand up and guide you, because there's so many people that don't have that. And I'm not going to sit here and do, videos based on one demographic of people. Like, I cannot do that. I don't feel like it's fair. And I don't feel like that's how astrological transits work, because you have to understand that, when we're, for whatever astrological transit is taking place for one person, it may be playing out good. For another person, horrible. They could be somewhere having the most horrible experiences that they feel like they can have. And therefore, still, their soul is trying to get them to become aware of some things. You know what I'm saying? Or their experiences is definitely showing them, like, how can they wake up, or how can they become aware and move past this thing and these experiences, and then, hopefully help other people do the same in life, so that we can ultimately change the world, right? But still, that doesn't put all of us in one box when it comes to experiences. But Lilith in the seventh house, you will possibly be dominated by other people. Your friends could be and this could happen in the 11th house too, but it's a slightly different because 11th house is more of groups. You can literally be around a friend or a lover or a partner or somebody that you hold close to you, and they be jealous of you. They try to sabotage you. Okay. And you can have ups and downs in relationships because of this, and it can put you in a position to where you are not able to trust. Now you're in a position to where you lash out, or you're always accusing other people of doing things. Okay, now I'm not going to say that you're wrong, because there's a possibility that's what's happening anyways, but what I am saying to you is that it happens because of the people that you allow yourself to be around. You know, you allow people around you that has some sort of authority over you. Maybe you don't feel like, or you don't believe like you can assert that authority over yourself, or you should have that authority over yourself and your behavior, whatever the case may be. But these people don't always have good intentions in mind. Like people try to dominate and control you. And you're also, Lilith in the seventh house can give off this sexual vibe. And I don't even know if I can say that word because YouTube's guidelines has changed, but they give off this vibe. That's very attractive. So Lilith in the seventh house individuals can definitely be attractive as well. Like, just as attractive, Lilith in the seventh house, Lilith in the first house, yeah, possibly, maybe even the eighth house, but I feel like eighth house maybe to a lesser degree, but could be attractive to other people. This could have led you to be taken advantage of as well. It's very hard to kind of govern your own self and your own sexuality, even when you want to, because you could be at the mercy of other people. Now, Lilith in the seventh house is learning, okay, or is, I always call everything learning and teaching. I look at it, everything in terms or in categories of learning and teaching mostly. You see what I'm saying? Or experiencing. Okay. But it's like Lilith in the seventh house is learning who they are outside of other people, outside of love relationships, partnerships, friendships, parent-child. Lilith is learning who they are in each individual that they come. Lilith is learning to trust themselves. Lilith in the seventh house are individuals that's learning to trust themselves. You will have the intuition, you have the knowing, but you will still sometimes go and do things, be around these people that control you, basically. And sometimes what Lilith in the seventh house has to do is step back and take a step back out of relationships, friendships, and things of that nature, and learn who they are, independent of these people. Therefore, if you were to get in these relationships with these people and partnerships with these individuals, you would know who you are, and they don't have the power over you. Lilith in the seventh house can put you in a very codependent situation because you could feel like, well, I don't want to do these things. I don't want to be alone. But you know that these situations are either limiting you or you're wanting to break free. You're acting up. There's abusive stuff going on because you need to break free ultimately, and you want to break free. Now, once you can do this, you start attracting and finding yourself around the right people. Because you dwell in a world of partnerships and relationships, and I feel like some of you guys can even make it to like popularity. It's very similar to the 11th house, but the 7th house is a house of people as well. And with your teaching people, or whatever hobby, whatever it is that you take up, that you learned about yourself, that's something that you can present to the people. You can make money off of it. You meet other people, you meet people that put you in the right places or that support you because you're expanding now. Anything before that or other than that, and I'm not saying that you lose the people that you're around now, but no, you have to take a different stance with them. you have to take a, that's what Lilith in the 7th house is doing. You have to take a different stance. You are getting to know yourself outside of these other people and these other individuals. Like a lot of you guys can definitely use your Lilith power to garner some form of fame or some excellent relationships, by the way. Okay, so this has been a Lilith in the 7th house. And stay tuned because I will be back with more Lilith placements.